Thank you for joining me today. So today's Friday sketch video, we're going to be using this sketch right here. I believe it's from Dawn Stamping Thoughts. I found her on YouTube a long time ago, and I found this sketch on Pinterest. So I'm going to put it up here in the upper right hand corner. I've already have my pieces cut out and planned out. I always, and for me, I just think it gives it some substance when you add the pattern paper on the base and then like build up the sketch on top of that. So I made my pattern paper here 4 by 5 1/4, and then the mat page is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I'm going to go ahead and tape this down and build up the center piece that you're really seeing on the page itself. I'm using the art glitter glue with my tape runner because it gives me a few seconds to where I can kind of shift things around and have it not secure strongly right away. And once I have it in the place that I want, then I press down and rub to make sure that it definitely adheres. Now, if you have any papers that don't cut smoothly, just use your you can use a nail file. I got this from Kaiser Craft and I love it because it has like 4 different sides. So it's what I use all the time now. And we're going to go ahead and start layering. Now the 2 pieces, I think one, the measurements are 1 inch by 4, and then the other one, I think the bottom, yep, is 1 1/4 by 4. And then what I did was I made the matte piece. It's supposed to be, hold on, I think it's like 3 by 4 1/4. So it would be like a 1/4 of an inch border, but I don't like 1/4 of an inch. I always do 1/8 of an inch. So I made it 3 by 4 1/8. And then when I added my papers on the top and the bottom, it just gave me a nice small border, all the way around. And then that centerpiece is going to cover up the part where they're separated. And even though it's not mentioned in this, I wanted to show you guys an option. With this one, I am going to add a mat, okay? So on this, it's 3/4 by 4 3/4. So for the matte paper, I forgot to sand it first, but my matte piece is 7/8 of an inch by 4 7/8. Once again, creating an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. All right, and then instead of laying this flat on top, which I could have, I am going to put some foam tape underneath and give it a little bit of a lift. Now, when I did this one, because I always do one kind of off camera to figure out and make sure everything is, going as planned. I will say that on this one, I tried to do the circle, which is I think it says treasured. I was trying to use this for my, I think it says any size or any element. Like you could put any shape there. You could do a heart, you could do a star, you could do a, whatever you want to put, and then go from there. Well, you're going to see me struggling here with putting the foam tape on the back and making sure I got all these pieces not showing. And it gets on my nerves, and I'm going to give up and go back to the rectangle piece and just using the same exact one that I used on my test, which is what I should have done from the get-go. The things you learn while you're doing, the video. I was thinking to myself while I was putting this all together, like, why am I having such a difficult time? It doesn't make sense that this isn't panning out the way that I want it to, because the other one went together like super simple, Oh well, at least you guys get to see me fumble and try and I'm just trying to measure, because what's happening is when you have foam under one piece, right, and then you're putting another piece on top, the edges or the parts that hang off aren't going to be secure because the piece that it's on top of is on foam. So it's like you need an extra layer, underneath. So that way it'll lay nice and evenly. Well, it wasn't working and it was driving me nuts. And then I was like, well, let me figure this out on the card. And then I realized the space for the strip to go, it was too small. So it wasn't fitting right in the center. And so I was like, okay, so then maybe I just need another thin piece of foam that'll go right up at the top edge. And then let that be it. You know what I mean? Let that be the end of it. So I'm going to put this down. And then, okay, so I'm feeling like, okay, this is going to work. So I put down some of my glue because I'm thinking, now I've taken it on, put it on, taken it off. It's not sticking. Well, you're going to see in a second, I'm about to throw the card down because it keeps moving and it's not laying right. And like, it's just, when I get annoyed, I'll throw something out and then I'll go with what I should have, which is what a special day. It fits. It sticks right to it. It's giving me a little bit of wiggle room because I used the wet glue so I can make sure I have it centered and exactly where I want it on the card, which I'm grateful for. But yeah, that circle one went bye-bye because I was over it. And then I'm going to put down 3 of my enamel dots. And then I have something to share before I get to the very end and you guys see the photos. After I tapped everything and everything's perfect, I got it with my first one and I'm going to show them to you guys side by side. It looks great. I go to take pictures and my paper that I sit it on top of slides right into my enamel dots, the ones I just did, forcing it like into like a weird shape. So if you notice any type of weirdness with the enamel dots in the close-ups coming up, that's why. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And as always, please feel free to leave comments down below. I do read them, and I try to, acknowledge the comments on my videos, except for like a big hop like the one that we just had. I don't comment on everybody because it was over like 300 comments. I answer questions, but I don't want to have people think that they're the winners of the thing by me talking on it. So on those, I do not respond to each one, but I'll give a thumbs up to let you know I did read it and I saw it. Okay. But thank you guys. I will see you with our next video, which will probably be another gouache video because I'm in love. So thanks again and enjoy your weekend.